Welcome to my new podcast called Paths of Purpose. Today's episode we'll be talking all about our childhood memories. Today's guest, we have Amy.
Hi.
So, first of all, how did I meet you? We are both homeschooled, so we know each other from our homeschooled group in London. And I think I was like, I must have been young. I must have been like 6, somewhere like 6 or 5 when we first met. Do you think? Yeah. And then our siblings were like a few years older. So 6, 9.
I think it must have been around maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah. So we've been friends for a long time. So we know each other very closely, which is really nice. We have like a very close bond. So I have some biscuits.
Yes, thank you.
So yes, but today we're going to be talking about our childhood memories because I feel like that's like a really common thing to talk about and it's a fun topic. Before we start that, is there like anything that as a child you like I have a question. Do you have anything as a child that you remember doing, like the top of your head, like kind of like that thing that was like, oh well, you did that, and it's kind of like a dumb thing that you always did? Because I feel like that will be a question that will be coming, but I'm curious to know.
Well, my mum makes cakes for a job, and she'd make little figurines out of sugar. And sometimes, the older ones, I'd just come into the room where she made them, and I'd break a little piece off and I'd eat them.
Oh. And would you get in trouble for that? Or was it just like something you did out of like... And how young were you? Were you like
6.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I wasn't doing this like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fair enough, fair enough.
If she knew someone was eating them, I just don't think she ever came to me.
Would you eat like the whole cake, or was it like just like...
It was just the figurines.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was gonna say if it was like a month ago, then...
It was basically the test figurines that I'd nibble off of.
Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. I feel like for me, I don't feel like I'm that much of a curious kid growing up, or generally. Like, you know how those of children are like a bit clumsy? Child, you like I have a question. Do you have anything as a child that you remember doing, like the top of your head, like kind of like that thing that was like, oh well, you did that, and it's kind of like a dumb thing that you always did? Because I feel like that will be a question that will be coming, but I'm curious to know.
Well, my mum makes cakes for a job, and she'd make little figurines out of sugar. And sometimes, the older ones, I'd just come into the room where she made them, and I'd break a little piece off and I'd eat them.
Oh. And would you get in trouble for that? Or was it just like something you did out of like... And how young were you? Were you like
6.
I feel like for me, I don't feel like I'm that much of a curious kid growing up, or generally. Like
unprinted paper.
Oh.
I'd rip the corners off and I'd just eat them, and I don't know why.
Well, no, I have never done something as clumsy as that. I remember maybe the most clumsiest thing is probably eating something I know I shouldn't have eaten from the floor when I was younger. Like, knowing this, I'm only like a 5-year-old doing this. I'm not a 10-year-old, guys. I'm not a 12 or 13-year-old. This is when I was like 5, guys.
Might be worse than eating paper.
Have to have some sort of awareness because they constantly do clumsy things all the time out of nowhere. They have to have some sort, they have to know what they want somehow. I know they're children and babies, like they're infants, but like they have to know what they want. And they need know not to play with. They understand things. It's not like they don't understand things. I think
kind of like animals, isn't it? Like they know they like. Well, I don't know. Young cats, they go to their mothers for milk and warmth.
Pretty much the same to the way a human being would provide. You're the mum of the doll, but in your head you're just this is just your toy. But then it becomes such a meaningful thing. And I think, for me, I don't think I ever used to actually play with baby dolls. But
wait, no. Just remember when you come to our house and then we'd get the babies out?
Yes. No, I remember that. But I feel like for young people and for young girls and boys, we play with certain toys that resembles what our life is like, or what we want our life to be like. If that makes any sense. Like, I feel like sometimes
Have you seen kids' toys today?
yeah.
Although, like, dinosaur snot eggs or stuff like that.
To be honest, the toys of this generation has changed. So when I was young, and I'm still young, but when I was younger, I mean in terms of when I was a child growing up, my kind of toys were different to the generation now. So when I'm talking about my kind of toys, it's like Playmobil and, you know, all those other toys that you typically have. But I mean, for the other generations now, their toys are different. Their toys are more... I don't feel like they have much toys, to be honest. I feel like that generation of playing with toys is kind of gone. They don't really play much. I mean, not that they don't, but I feel like they do, but it's not a lot of time. Whereas we would have a lot of time playing with toys, a lot of time using our imagination to think of toy games. And baby is now a monster. Oh, now we have to survive the baby. Now we have to breathe the baby. And it's like
Breathing the baby.
I'm giving scenarios to what we used to do back in my days. It was like to buy us every Playmobil set of Playmobil. But back then we couldn't really afford them, so we were like, Mum, please can we get this set? We need it. I'm gonna cry if we don't get it. Come on, it's in Toy Stories. Come on, we need it. And
but I need the caravan. You don't get it.
Yeah, I was literally in the restaurant crying to my mum. Mum, you don't get it. If my family don't have a caravan, they don't have a home. And I need that caravan. They need it. I'll give you my what's it called, savings. I will do whatever it takes to get my caravan to my Playmobil people. And it was, yeah. So back in my days, Playmobil, and it was the other thing, Play-Doh. Play-Doh. Back in my days, they had a very amazing theme song, which I'll again add right here. Play-Doh, Play-Doh. Yeah.
I never really played with Play-Doh, unfortunately. I had ponies, babies, and Lego. That's it. You know what? We made do with what we had.
I feel like a lot of my childhood was great. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a great experience. Over as well.
There was this one time I was really bored. I don't know what my sister was doing, but we were in our beds. No one to play a game, so I was like, okay, I'm a mermaid and you're not a mermaid, and I have to get you out of this room so you can survive. And then she said, she casted a 30-minute breathing spell, and she was gonna stay there. And so you know what I did?
What?
I stared at that clock and I waited 30 minutes. And you know what? After 30 minutes I said, hey, it's been 30 minutes. You can't breathe anymore, we have to go. and she said, she casted another spell.
What was it?
Another breathing spell that lasted another 30 minutes, and I just didn't know what to do with my time after that.
For 30 minutes?
No, I was a mermaid. I was breathing the water.
Growing up.
It's not really embarrassing, because I didn't really feel that way. at the time. I actually don't really feel like that way right now either. It was rather silly. Okay, I was in school. All my friends were doing cartwheels.
Oh.
And since our school uniform had skirts, I was wearing a skirt at that time. I said, hey, I want to do cartwheel too. So I did I said, I don't care if anyone sees my underwear. It'd be weird if I wasn't wearing it. And so I did a cartwheel. And everyone saw my underwear. And someone, I don't know, maybe a boy came up to me and say, hey, I saw your underwear. And I said, yeah, so what? Or something like that.
You can't control your gas. And I learned that when I was younger. The hard way. So, I was in class a couple of times. And we were in a rehearsal, rehearsing Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And I had one line. Because obviously also, you won't know, if you don't know, of course you won't know yet, that I also have a learning difficulty called dyslexia, which is hard to read. So often teachers would, in my opinion, back when I was in school, that's kind of why I left, is their ability teaching me was awful compared to like how they teach people now. I don't think back when I was diagnosed or they knew that I had a learning difficulty, they really were aware of it, because I think it was quite new. And it was same with autism and same with all the other learning difficulties. So I feel like it's not because of me that they didn't know, but it was because they had no education on it. So I was kind of not bored, but kind of like not taught. They did not know how to deal with my difficulty back then, which now they know how to support it very well, which makes me kind of angry. Like, why weren't they aware of this back then?
Hold on, my foot's falling asleep.
But obviously back then it was a different time, different year, different school, different area. And where I am now, I'm aware that people now know a lot more about learning difficulties than they did back in the days. But I was in this play, and knowing that I had dyslexia, my teachers were really still bit rude, because every other student would be given about 4 lines to learn for the play itself. And then obviously you have your main characters in the class where they get the like 10 lines because they're the main character.
What character were you?
I wasn't a character. The point is I wasn't even a character. I was a no.
And you had a line?
I had one line. I had one line. Thank God it was only in rehearsals. I had one line to deliver, and it was "thank you for watching." And I remember that because they made it pretty clear that it was my line. Every time I would try and say it, I always forgot, because I always forgot when I came up, who came before me. That was when I was younger. I always found that really hard to remember who comes before me, and like to remember the words they used to say. I was like, I can't even read the words back then. I couldn't. In certain situations, I would just kind of like freeze, because I had no idea exactly what to do. But okay, so that was just how I was learning in that time. But so that it was not. So in my opinion, they didn't know. They weren't aware of what the learning difficulty is. They're more aware of it now. But so that was that part of the difficulty of the embarrassing part of that is I'm in rehearsals. You're rehearsing for this play, and I'm in rehearsals with 20 classmates, and we're close. We talk regularly, and I was like to myself, do not fart. Like, control it, conceal it. Don't feel it. Don't feel it. Don't let it go. Hold it in. Go to the toilet if you need to. Don't let it go. Because this fart sound came from my shoe, and I was like, seriously. I told my body to hold it in, and now this shoe is, what's it called? Squeaked the floor. So now it sounds like I farted. Everyone turns to me, and it's like, Montega, say excuse me. I'm like when I farted. But the point is, that was not my fault. I was like,
you didn't even fart this time.
No. And I was like, the teacher was upset. I was like, can you not say excuse me? You'll have a detention if you don't say excuse me. I was like,
Miss!
I didn't even. It was my
I had
shoe.
shoes.
Yeah.
I had shoes, miss. I don't think you know. It wasn't me. That's what I would have done. Gosh.
Yeah. So that was, I guess it's not embarrassing, but it was growing up.
A favourite game.
I had a couple.
Yeah.
What was yours though?
Well, when I was growing up, I had this learning game console called a Leapster. I had a bunch of learning games on it. And there was a couple games. There was SpongeBob SquarePants Fists of Foam. There was a My Little Pony one. Don't remember any others. But I remember I had a really good time playing those. And the other game I was talking about,
The person who created Rich, I'm gonna regret not knowing his name. I trust I'm gonna regret it. But Rich Dad Poor Dad, he created a game called Cash Flow. And me and my family, when I was younger, about 7 years old, we started learning how to invest money and how to grow money. And through this game, this is how. What else did we play? Playmobil was just. It's not a game, but it was a very good.
Whatever the saying is.
Good one. A good one. What is something funny or mischievous you did as a kid? I think we answered this one. Or fun. Should we go with funny? We were trying to answer mischievous, but we're not mischievous galleys. We're not trouble. Trouble.
Well, I was a hilarious kid. I was cracking the funniest jokes. Everyone knew my name. They called me Ms. Jokester back in primary. Yeah, all the kids knew me. Oh yeah. I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
Actually, one class clown. Yeah, that's what they called me.
Okay. No, but really.
Yeah, no, all of that was a lie.
Really, what was something you did that was funny back when you were a kid?
Can't think of anything.
Oh, bro. Oh.
I mean, it was hilarious, but I can't, think of something funny I did right now.
Guys, I can't lie. I feel like it was me farting. And I used to twerk a lot. So, guys, don't do that anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. Hey. Won't go there.
Don't joke.
But no, farting or... I don't think I used to burp. Oh, my talking was funny. Like, I would say something back when I was younger, even like a 3-year-old, and my parents would laugh because they had no idea what I was saying. I would say something like cake, but say break.
Actually, one class clown. Yeah, that's what they called me.
Okay. No, but really.
Yeah, no, all of that was a lie.
Really, what was something you did that was funny back when you were a kid?
Can't think of anything.
Oh, bro. Oh.
I mean, it was hilarious, but I can't, think of something funny I did right now.
Guys, I can't lie. I feel like it was me farting. And I used to twerk a lot. So, guys, don't do that anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. Hey. Won't go there.
Don't joke.
But no, farting or... I don't think I used to burp. Oh, my talking was funny. Like, I would say something back when I was younger, even like a 3-year-old, and my parents would laugh because they had no idea what I was saying. I would say something like cake, but say break. But they knew I meant cake, guys. So it was like, Yeah. Stuff like that, I was funny. But yeah. I think that covers that. What is something... How did you... Oh, we covered this already. How did you meet your friend? Already covered that. What was school like for you as a kid?
Horrible.
Ooh, explain it.
Like, all of my bad memories are from school.
Oh.
Well, not all of them.
Spill the tea.
If you've ever had siblings, and they go to the same school as you, and they're older than you, believe me, they are going to ignore you. Oh, hey, I can't believe I seen you on the playground. Hey, let's go over there, They are going to avoid you like the plague. hey, can we talk to you, please? No. Hey, like, do you remember seeing that one film? Sorry, what was your name?
I'm sure it's not that bad. Come on.
Felt that way.
Next question. Did you ever get in trouble with your parents or teachers? What kind of question is that? Of course you would. Once or twice.
Yeah, I remember this one time. I was sitting in... It wasn't even really that bad. But I was sitting in class and I was twirling my hair. And I heard the teacher talking. They said, hey, stop that. But I didn't think they were talking to me. And I kept going. I realized they were talking to me. I was like, oh. And I was really scared because they were, like, talking really loud. And they scared me. But my sister has this really bad memory from school as well.
That, of course you would. Once or twice.
Yeah, I remember this one time. I was sitting in... It wasn't even really that bad. But I was sitting in class and I was twirling my hair. And I heard the teacher talking. They said, hey, stop that. But I didn't think they were talking to me. And I kept going. I realized they were talking to me. I was like, oh. And I was really scared because they were, like, talking really loud. And they scared me. I also have this memory. It's a little gross, but in school, it was around lunchtime. Again, I was like 5 or 6. I had my lunch tray. I don't remember what they put on my lunch tray, but I came to the end, and the only vegetables there were Brussels sprouts. I said, please, miss, I don't want any. And she put some on my plate anyway, because I guess she thought I didn't want any vegetables. Because, you know, in general. I always finished my plate. I really should have just not eaten it. And there would always be a lunch lady by the bins to make sure you finished your meal.
I know, tormenting you. Eat your greens.
You can't throw it that way. You haven't eaten it yet. Finish your vegetables. But here's the thing, this is where my hate of Brussels sprouts stems from this one memory.
Oh, what?
You see, I couldn't eat them there, because whenever I ate them, I'd throw it right back up. My body would refuse. I had to swallow them twice. I keep it down there. I really should have just gone up to the lunch lady and said, miss, I can't eat this. Well, eat it then. I would have put it in my mouth, I would have chewed it, I would have swallowed it, and I would have thrown it right back up on the plate. They were talking to me, I was like, oh. And I was really scared because they were, like, talking really loud. And they scared me. But my sister has this really bad memory from school as well. It went like this. She was in class, and then she left the classroom. But then they realized that one of her friends had left their bag behind. And so, let's say there's 3 of them. So they went back to go grab the bag. And then maybe the next day the teacher came by and said, hey, someone ate one of my biscuits, and you 3 were the last ones in the classroom. Fess up, who did it? And then none of them ate the biscuit. And so they were fighting like, miss, we really didn't eat it. Check the security cameras. We promise. And then she wouldn't listen, and so they didn't cave in, and the teacher kept saying, if you just apologize and the person who did it is going to get detention or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was really bad because they knew they didn't do it, but the teacher did. And eventually, one of Kira's friends decided to take the blame, and then they got detention, I think. And apparently it was horrible.
That teacher, I feel like, just wanted to pick on them.
Hey everybody! I've been invited here to tell you all about a story that takes place in my youth, a long, long time ago, in my faraway youth. And basically, what happened? My teacher, it was her birthday, and somebody brought in a box of chocolates. And the entire class was really hoping that she'd share them with us, but she didn't, so whatever. Doesn't even matter. We all packed our bags, we all went home, we all started to leave the classroom, me and two of my friends. We all went outside, waited for our parents to pick us up, and one of my friends basically said she'd forgotten something. So me and my other friend, we got, me, friend 1 and friend 2, we all volunteered to go back with her. So we walk back down to the classroom alone, we go back in, she grabs her pencil case or whatever she forgot, we walk back outside, and we all go home. The next morning, we come back in, right? We come back into class, and everybody comes in, our teacher's silent. We're like, uh-oh. And yeah, we come back in, and she waits till everybody sits down, and she goes, my chocolates are missing. Which one of you took them? And so everybody's looking around well, who took them? Because I didn't. And I looked at my friends. We didn't. And so it went like that for 20 minutes, and nobody was fessing up. So my teacher was pretty upset, and she was like, you know what? I was going to give them to you, but I'm not now. So, and we were like, oh, who took the chocolates? And then she starts us on our lesson, but you can see she's still thinking about it. And it was after about 20 minutes maybe of doing our ABCs or whatever we did in year 3. She pulls out, she asks me, my friend, and my other friend, me, friend 1, friend 2, to come outside and talk to her. So we do, and we're all confused because what could you want? And we meet her outside the classroom, and she looks us dead in the eyes, and she says, I know one of you did it. Which one of you was it? And we were like, Miss, we didn't. And she wasn't listening. She didn't care. And she said, I know you 3 went back. You were the last ones in the classroom. One of you took it. Which one did it? And we were like, no, miss, we didn't. And she wasn't listening. And so it was 30 minutes of the 3 of us just telling her we didn't do it. And she wasn't. And she said, you know what? I'm going to go back in the class. I'm going to leave you 20 minutes to talk about it. Okay. I'm going to come back outside. And when I come back outside, I want one of you to fess up. And so she went back in the class, and we all just stood there in the corridor what are we going to do? We didn't do it. Because we didn't do it. So we stood there, and we just stood in silence because we didn't do it, right? What were we going to do? So basically, what ended up happening was one of my friends said, I'm just going to tell her I did it. And we were like, no. And she was like, no, because we're just going to be out here all day otherwise. So I'm going to tell her I did it. And so the teacher came back out, and one of my friends said it was me. And our teacher was like, I'm very disappointed in you, And she sent her home, and she had to write her an apology letter and buy her more chocolates when she didn't take them in the first place. So whatever 8-year-old out there took them, I hope you're happy. You ruined our day. I hope you're happy.
Of course, I'd get in trouble with parents. So yes, I have. With teachers, yes, I have. But it was never because of something so serious. It was for talking back with attitude. Which, guys, don't do. But, if you're trying to prove a point. Back when I was younger, we weren't that Christian. In terms of we weren't that into Christianity a lot. But it wasn't really a tradition, but we'd always have a Bible in the house, which, okay, that's not a tradition, but there was something else we did before. We'd always do a night prayer. Back when I was 5, so from 4 to onwards, we would do our night prayer, so Our Father who art in heaven, the Lord's Prayer, and then we would do our night prayers to bless the night and then bless for the morning. And we would do that every night until when I became a Christian at 7 years old. Then I realised, oh, this is not just something I do with my family, this is something I have to do by myself as well. And then it was something I did not just with family, in my family time at night, but all during the day. I would pray for my test, or pray for my schoolwork, or pray for my family for work, or pray, I would pray constantly ever since that. So that taught me that when I got saved, that taught me, oh, you don't just pray in that family time with your family, but pray all during the day. So that taught me a lesson of prayer and how important prayer is, because it doesn't just take that time. And it's really valuable to be able to have that time with your family to pray over things in your life. I feel like I learned that a lot when I was younger, and that set a good foundation for me. Still now, I would do that with my family. Because I feel like that sets you up for the day. Like, you feel it's like, in terms of like other people in other religions, they do like yoga to get ready for the day, or like they do stretching, or they do, what other things? I'm trying to think. Morning prayers or morning devotionals, or everyone has a different morning thing to wake them up or to get them ready, energized. And for me, growing up, that really was a good foundation for my faith. Still, for now, for the whole of my life, I'm still gonna apply that to my kids and their kids and I hope that my kids will understand how important that is. But yeah, that's one of the things. And also eating as a family. I feel like not many families eat together, and my family made it so important that we eat as a family together. That one time, not just one time in dinner, but we have a movie night as well after, and we watch something together, and we're talking. Because so much of the time, families are always separated, and don't spend much time with your family. And so it made it really important to spend time with your family during dinner. And that means having a connection and talking to them, This is the outro. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes, get in. For the past of purpose. So, we're logging out, tuning out.
I want to try again.
No. Send a question for the next guest. What's your question to the next guest?
What will you be doing in later years?
Good question. To be continued. Thank you for watching the podcast. There will be a lot more coming your way. Stay blessed, stay loved. Goodbye.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.